We're a couple of seconds late tonight, Rick. Because we were just watching the game.
That's right. We are here.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the weekly Pop Culture Spread Live show where we just kind of recap some of the big stories in movies and entertainment and all that kind of stuff. Hey, Rick?
That's it. So,
mate, what has tickled your fancy this week in entertainment? What have you been watching? What's on the television at Rick's house?
Television at the moment? Yeah. I haven't really. I mean, I've been savouring a couple of, obviously, Cobra Kai's just come out, so I'm going to do a big binge on that at the moment. I've been getting to a lot of 90s movies, just reliving a couple of those old 90s CIA. I watched, what did I watch last night? I watched John Travolta in The General's Daughter.
Oh, my God. It's like 96, 97.
Yeah.
Around then, anyway.
And I did.
The kind of army thriller.
Yeah, and I was watching a bit of Chuck Norris as well. They had, God, it was so bad. I thought it was.
Hang on. 80s Chuck Norris or 90s Chuck Norris?
No, 80s
there's a big difference.
Lone Wolf McQuade.
Well, that's one of his good films.
Yeah.
Lone Wolf McQuade, which hasn't dated that well, but still has a couple of good fight scenes. But yeah, I mean, that's 1981, I reckon, Lone Wolf McQuade came out. So it's a long time ago, Rick.
But it was good.
Because they don't release anything new these days. That's why you're watching them, mate. They do a lot.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's great, mate. That's great. Well, let's. As for me, what have I been watching? Binge watching The Office again, like for the 12th time. US Office. Watching some Star Wars Rebels for you Star Wars geeks out there. Been watching some of that. Yeah, watching a couple of movies here and there, catching up on like things that come out early last year that I hadn't seen. So
yeah,
it's been good, watching just. You know what it's like? You get lost in the streaming services.
And there's so many.
Like, the more than you have, that means more menu systems you get lost in. Which means more time you're looking at little thumbnail images of TV shows and movies.
I can literally sit there for hours just scrolling through. I'm going, oh, my God.
It's almost like its own form of entertainment.
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy. All right, look, let's get kicking into this, Rick. People are going to start switching off. Is anybody watching out there at the moment?
No.
Not a single person. But we're all good.
One
just popped up. Hello, Soul Viewer. This is just for you. All right, let's get kicking into the first story. Look, it's growing by numbers. People are catching on. All right, now let's get stuck into the first story, Rick. I really want to get into what's going on with Marvel, the MCU. They've delivered so much stuff happening there at the moment, but I wanted to move forward and talk about Moon Knight.
Yes.
So the Moon Knight series, which is currently being produced and that by Marvel Studios, has landed a couple of horror directors, Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. Excuse me, actually. I should have been wearing a mask then. There are a couple of horror writers, which is a good kind of way for Moon Knight to go. We're starting to get this bit of information, and it tells us what kind of tone they're going for. Moon Knight is a character, Rick, that leans itself more to an R rating. And we know Marvel's owned by Disney, we're not going to get an R rating. But I think if being on Disney Plus, there's more of an opportunity to go adult with this, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
And just to clarify to people who may not know who Moon Knight is at all, if we just have a look here, this is a kind of brief overview of who Moon Knight, a la Mark Spector, who is. I'm just going to zoom in if I can so we can all kind of read that. There you go. Mark Spector, a.k.a. Moon Knight. He's a Jewish-American former U.S. Marine turned a CIA agent. After leaving both organizations in disgrace, he becomes a soldier of fortune. He was left to dead in the desert on a mercenary mission to Egypt, where an Egyptian moon god, Khonsu, saved him and gave him his moon-based power. Now, what's going on here, though, and I haven't really kind of mentioned it here. Oh, yeah, no, here we go. He has dissociative identity disorder,
So
split personalities, which, again, if you're going down that kind of pathway with this, that means that you're going into dark areas, psychological areas. And we know for the comic books, they don't take this lightly. So I'm fascinated, Rick, because I'm excited about Moon Knight. I don't know if you've ever delved into him. He's basically Marvel's Batman. It's a good way to explain him. But, yeah, what do you think about Marvel starting to hire people from horror? It's not the first time they did it. Obviously, they did it with the director of Doctor Strange. But what do you think about Marvel getting this, starting to deal with dark kind of material?
If they look, this is a very complex character, definitely.
Yes.
I mean, this character's been around since 1975. If they do it well, yes, definitely. Like you said, there's going to be an R-rated content because he's got split multiple personalities. So it's a bit like McAvoy when he did Split. You know, how good did he do that? He was going back and forth and that. So they've really got to find the right actor who can do that on screen. And you know,
but they announced that.
Have they announced who is actually playing Moon Knight?
Yeah, Oscar Isaacs.
Is that definitely confirmed?
Yeah, that has been now confirmed. I can confirm that.
Interesting.
That's interesting. I did read an article today where it said it was confirmed.
I heard it was rumored, but I wasn't know if he was confirmed or not.
Okay, even if he isn't confirmed at this stage, he's certainly a hot. He's
up there.
Yeah, he's up there, and he is a quality of actor that could handle that kind of content quite easily. You know, and I think you're right. James McAvoy doing The Split is a good example of someone being able to handle so many personalities. And I reckon, we'll see CNET. We'll see that. I don't know how much I trust them in movie news, but they confirmed him as the lead.
They've confirmed this.
15 hours ago, Cinema Blend, which is a trustworthy source, has said Disney still hasn't confirmed Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
So, but he's definitely in negotiations.
He's in the mix. He's there.
He's in the mix, and he will more likely get the role. But either way, this is out of all the MCU content coming out, this is probably the one with the most darkest potential, Rick. The ones that could get really kind of not for kids, which will be interesting, you know?
Yeah.
I'm super pumped for Moon Knight, mate. I think this character's going to take off in a big bad way.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they present it. I definitely want to see some footage, and if they do go down that dark path, would be nice. But like you said, it's on Disney Plus, so how dark do they go?
Yeah, well, that's right. But I am fascinated, Rick, because it does. You know, they've gotten Ghost Rider back now. They've gotten other characters back who are dark characters, like the Punisher and all that. Like, how do they deal with this in a Disney-owned environment? You know, I mean, that's the big question mark. That's why I'm so fascinated with Moon Knight to see what they're going to do with it. Great. Oh, mate, let's kind of move on. What do you reckon, hey? Let's move on to something else, which is a bit of a bummer story. And it's just, I don't know if we've touched base about it. I think we've kind of mentioned it here and there. But this is really sad that, Ray Fisher.
This has been an ongoing issue.
I mean, the latest article to come out is now Ray Fisher. Whoops, not that. No, I'm not buying. That he denies voluntary exiting the Flash movie. So the war of words, which everyone knows about, that Ray Fisher, who was the guy on the left there, who started Cyborg in all the DCEU films, had a real issue with the way Joss Whedon ran things when he came in to do the reshoots, which caused an investigation with Warner Brothers. That investigation finished. Nothing's real come from it. Ray Fisher's been very, very vocal, Rick, in his experience. And he's obviously not now part of the DCU moving forward. And this is a big deal, Rick, because initially, for a long time, what was going around the industry was that this Flash movie was very much a Cyborg Flash movie. Like, Cyborg had a major role in this film. So with everything that's happened with Ray Fisher, I have no doubt now they've probably had to do a bit of a rewrite on the Flash movie.
Well, like I said, this has been going since July, obviously last year, and it wasn't just Josh Whedon. He was Jeff Johns and John Berg. He went up a lot of people. Yeah, the head of DC.
He's not going to do any films that he's involved.
He is just going hard at it on Twitter, and look, good for him.
No doubt.
Definitely crazy.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to get on there because, out of all this, I strongly suggest that the Wrap amend this article immediately. While I appreciate the reporter's undying desire to do Warner Pictures and Walter Martin's bidding, it is factually inaccurate. I did not publicly step down from anything. It's strong words, man. And at the end of the day, it's really unfortunate because it looks like they're going to write Cyborg out of any future movies like that, which is really disappointing because I would like to see, and I reckon what we're going to get from Justice League is a lot of Cyborg. We all know that there was a chunk of footage with Cyborg in it that we're going to get to see from the HBO Max release.
Well, they did announce that, he's definitely been that, and that's it. So.
Now, because we know that Ray Fisher is not going to be involved.
No.
We've been told that Cyborg is not going to be involved as a character. So it's just disappointing for everyone involved to see that we're not going to see Ray Fisher, who, what I saw of him seemed to be pretty good. We're not going to see that character really develop and show its potential with that version of Cyborg.
It makes you wonder, has he actually tarnished his career now?
Without question.
Way, some people back him, some people don't. He's obviously not going to be any part of
Broadway. He's a theatre guy. That's what he is. He never has sought out a Hollywood career. They chased him down to play Cyborg. He didn't actually go gunning for the role. That's what I'd heard. Yeah. So he's someone who's just going back into theatre and very, very happy with his own career in there. So he's definitely kind of told Hollywood to go stick it. So
good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Disappointing for fans like us. So, but you know what, Rick? That's been a bummer story. But let's pick it up. Let's turn around. Let's build up the hype for Machine for what promises. What promises to be really cool. And I'm talking about Wandavision.
Yep.
This Friday. Guys, if you haven't already noticed, we've announced a live after show for Wandavision, and that'll continue on. If we enjoy doing this and you guys enjoy watching it, we're going to plan on doing every MCU TV show a live after show for each one of them. Yeah. So it gets released here in Australia. Now, here in Adelaide, it is 7:30. You'll have to do the time difference of when it's released for us here, so we can watch it on Disney streaming. I think it's midnight in America they get it over there, their new releases.
Was it here and here? What? Yeah.
Yeah, so and then we watch it, and then within an hour, we're doing a live stream on it, which we've already been promoting, and we're super excited about. They've announced the double episode, Rick, for the first one.
No, that's exciting. Look, I've been staying away because there have been some early reviews. People who've had the special opportunity to have a look at it, and apparently it is just
well, that's the second part of the story, Rick, and you kind of hit it there. Is the first reactions for WandaVision have been extremely positive.
Yeah,
everybody seems to be loving it. Rotten Tomatoes. I would assume if I go back here, it's got to be a big one on the. I mean, do they do TV? What are we looking for? View
probably
most
TV
popular on TV. Well, they haven't even put it up yet.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. New to this week is WandaVision. Okay. But the reviews in that other article were very, very, very positive. I think what the reviews though have told me, and I'm not going to go into them all in detail because I respect the people may be really excited about this film. This TV series, and don't want any spoilers whatsoever. But what the reviews tell me, Rick, is it is a very different show. Yeah. Don't go in expecting to see an Iron Man, a Civil War, a Spider-Man. This is going to be a very different type of show that may not make sense in the beginning. So, because they've mentioned a few times that it's like a mystery that you kind of uncover as you go along the show. So, you know, I can't wait because it's going to be so different. I'm so excited to see new content.
It's been great. Jace, can I just hold you for 2 seconds, mate? We just got a comment or a hello from Diego. There he is.
Oh, good day, Diego. How are you, mate? He contributed quite strongly the other morning and with our morning coffee. Thank you, mate.
He did, yes. Welcome, Diego. Hello.
So we got WandaVision is like 9 episodes.
Yes.
And the whole thing goes for 6 hours, right? So, which means roughly about 40-minute episodes. Roughly around that is what we're going to get to see with WandaVision. And I expect it to be, you know, one of those shows by the end of the season will be the one of the big shows out there to be kind of catching up on. So
I think you're going to hear a lot of it, definitely. It's going to be one of those shows. Everyone's like, you know, when you saw The Mandalorian, everyone's like, oh, my God, the show. And at the end, towards the end, I think it's going to have the same hype and build up, definitely.
You know, the thing, though, also, Rick, was like we know the show from the trailer that she is going back into like television sitcom phases. Right? That's evident from the trailer, right? I just wonder how much the young people will relate or really kind of get that. Because I remember watching like old black and white sitcoms. I'm that old, people. I remember watching black and white sitcoms. So I remember all this kind of phase, and I feel like it's made for Generation X, but yeah.
I don't know.
You know, this show's made for, but hopefully the young people, I'm sure they will. You know,
we got another comment from Diego. There we go.
No, new kind of content it is always exciting, and WandaVision absolutely is that show now to get excited about. You know, I think we should savor these moments too because we're about to head into a world, Rick, where this just becomes commonplace. Then all of a sudden we've got, you know, all these shows and we're just used to it. So definitely savor the moment. The fact that we're getting cinema grade Marvel content on our television screens every week.
Cannot wait.
It's just incredible.
So that finishes what, mid-March, something like that?
Yeah, around I believe mid-March, and then we just lead straight into the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which then leads into Loki. So now, it's just going to be a great 3-4 months for a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
So that's kind of really it. That's what's kind of big going. I would suggest after that, guys, you've got to, like, if you're going to see a couple of dudes just freaking geeking out, catch the WandaVision after show Friday night because it's going to be pretty wild. I think it's I've actually wanted to do something like an after show for a while, and I had thought about it with The Mandalorian. But Rick, you're not as big a Star Wars fan as me, which is fair to say. So you probably, But with Marvel, we're both equally excited about it.
Yeah, and it makes it easy now with this platform that we're doing it now because, you know, we're thinking about watch it and go to the studio, film it, and this and that. It would have been too hard, but now it's just, a lot easier for us now, and we enjoy doing these live shows for everyone. So,
absolutely. So, it's going to be a huge week with WandaVision. But, you know, that's like we've got lots of great content coming out over the next few. Oh, here we go. We're going to pop up the other comment. I think we got Diego's popped up. What do you think of the new direction for Marvel TV? Is the way they want to prepare us for what's coming? Yeah, I think so. I think this is the way, Diego, they lay the long-term story threads throughout their phases, and they'll use the TV to kind of help push it from one point to another. That would be my guess. I mean, if you're talking about connectivity between characters, with Marvel television now, everything, you know, you're going to have to be, I would say in about 5 years' time with all these TV shows, to understand and remember all the connections and the interweavings of this is going to be a bit of a struggle. But yeah, Rick, what do you think? I love the direction they're going with Marvel.
I absolutely love it. And this opens the door for a lot of other characters to explore and then connect everyone together because the universe is huge, and especially the Marvel characters, it's just massive. There's a lot of characters that a lot of people wouldn't know that existed. And if we can incorporate them in, It is
and you're
the way.
so right. You can do it on TV now, where
exactly.
there's no way that we would have gotten a Moon Knight movie for a long time, just because they've got such a huge roster. And the rule is, for some financial reasons, I believe they don't release any more than 3 theatrical films a year. It doesn't become financially viable, they believe. So this is a way for them to do all those extra characters. So, mate, I'd love to know, Diego, what you think. What are you most pumped about coming up? Because, I'm excited about Moon Knight. It's one of my personal favorites. But She-Hulk, Rick, is really turning out.
That's the one I'm waiting for. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's the one you're waiting for, but I certainly am very interested. Yeah.
Especially with the news that you spoke about on the morning coffee show about the Hulk.
Yeah. How did you feel about that, Rick? It's the first time we've spoken about that. The rumor was that they're going to kill off Bruce Banner in the TV show.
Yeah, by Red Hulk. So
by Red Hulk. It's a
rumor. Ross.
Rumor. There's no, it's just fan theory, fan fiction. But that's pretty credible. I didn't want to see your reaction. That's all I really wanted. I couldn't wait to say because I know you'll be like, "What? They're going to kill Bruce Banner."
I'll be that's it. I'll disown him if they kill Banner. No. Look, that's one of the shows I'm really looking forward to. Only because of my personal connection to Hulk.
Well, let's be honest, Rick. We keep saying we're looking forward to this stuff. Is there anything we're not looking forward to?
No. What?
Is there any show that they've announced that you're going, meh?
No, not in the Marvel universe. No.
What about Miss Marvel though?
Yeah.
Do you want to watch a TV show about a 12-year-old Muslim girl who's a superhero?
I actually watched. What was that show?
I do, because she's an awesome character. I played her in the Avengers game, which was a horrible game, but she was really cool.
You know what?
The Avengers video game that we played late last year. That was glitchy as hell.
Really?
But she was an awesome character.
We haven't spoken about this. Really?
Yeah. It's well known. If I brought in the expert who lives in this house and video games, he'll tell you the reputation of that game is not great. It's not great. It's very glitchy. The more you got into it, the more glitchier it got. But as a character, Miss Marvel's so powerful too. And it makes sense because she gets a whole TV show, which then leads in because she's a big plot point in Captain America too. So then when Captain America, so what's great about that is when you go in and see Captain America 2, you get to see the fact they don't have to introduce Miss Marvel. It's already been done in the TV show. Get straight into the plot. So
just send us a comment, Jace. There we go.
If you'd made that point, Diego, 3 years ago, I would have thought, nah, man, that's never going to happen. But the MCU on streaming are doing everything. If they have proven anything, they're willing to go anywhere with it. That is not out of the realm. Because especially if you're starting to bring family into it, aren't you? You're starting to have, Jessica Walters in it. So there is a family connection with Bruce Banner. Why wouldn't you do Red Hulk, Red She-Hulk, et cetera, et cetera? It would be amazing to do it. I think they I don't know how expensive that show is going to be because I can't imagine it'd be cheap to make these CG characters. But man, I'm down for it.
But just looking at some of the footage from the trailer from Falcon and Winter Soldier, some of those scenes were just so they put a lot of money in these shows.
Oh yeah. I mean, they get movie budgets, I believe. They get film budgets. Like that's why they look film quality.
Interesting to know how much they'd actually. How much it makes, how much it costs to make one of these.
It is out there, but I think I don't know off the top of my head. If I was guessing, I'd say 20 million, maybe 15 million an episode. I mean, wasn't Game of Thrones 10 million an episode at one point?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be cheap, but Yeah. See, Star Wars with The Mandalorian cost them quite a bit in the beginning, but that show's cheaper and cheaper to make because they've got all the tech now.
Yeah.
So, there you go. So, and with that use of technology, which Marvel will start using that as well, that giant movie room, then pretty great stuff. So, mate, that's about it. We're gonna tie this up. We're almost done, getting close to half an hour.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to add?
No,
what are you up to this week, Rick? What are you doing?
This week, mate. Well, besides work, but yeah, look, I'm going to catch up on some TV shows. Definitely, I want to watch.
Yeah.
I've got something up my sleeve, Jace, which I will discuss off camera. Off camera, but it's something I want to. I've been planning for a while that I want to do on the show. It's something that we haven't done.
I know you did 3 years of tap and 2 years of jazz, but I don't think you performing on the show. Yeah.
But I do want to have something to discuss with you, and hopefully we can do something really cool for the viewers. So.
Oh, okay, sounds really great. Yeah. Oh my God, it's 5:30 in the morning, Diego. You must be an early riser. Well done to you, sir. I'm an early riser as well. I hope you have a great day. We're going to tie it up, Rick. We're getting out of here.
That's it.
We'll see you guys Friday night. Now, don't forget, Friday night, come and watch the Wandavision after show. And our time will be 8 o'clock. And the reason it's 8 o'clock is it's the double episodes this week. Normally it'd be at 7:30, but it's 8 o'clock because it's a double episode. Catch you, all of you then, Rick. Do you want to say goodbye to the people?
See you guys very much.
Before you go, what do they have to do to become part of the Pop Culture Spread family?
Guys, all you need to do is give us a comment down below for the video, like, share, subscribe, follow us on all our social media sites, and also check out our merchandise as well, guys. We really, really appreciate it. That is it for me.
Money. That's
it. That's it.
Thanks, guys. We're out of here. We'll see you next time.
See you guys. Bye.